Have you ever wondered who the Arctic fox alpha was? No one knows, except I'll tell you right now. I decided to play Animal Jam and wanted to find out who the Arctic fox alpha was. I asked people if they knew. I looked for statues. I couldn't find any. So I asked AJHQ if they knew who the Arctic fox alpha was. They just sent me a picture. On the picture, there was an Arctic fox with long black bangs covering her eyes and a ponytail. She looked very sad, and she had a frown on her face. I just stared at the picture. What was going on? That isn't the Arctic fox alpha. This is a kid's game, isn't it? Lots of minds went through my head, lots of thoughts. I kept thinking, what is this? Who is this? I need to find out. So I went to my den when I gave up on this. I saw this mysterious figure in the corner of my bedroom, though. It was strange. It looked just like the Arctic fox on the picture that I got from HHQ. She said, "Hello, Fauna." I was suddenly kind of alarmed because she knew my name and everything. "Who are you?" I asked. "Are you the Arctic fox alpha?" She nodded her head up and down very slowly. Her eyes suddenly turned red. She had this big, white, toothy grin, and she looked like she wanted to do something bad with me. I grew more worried. I suddenly got concerned. "What do you want? Why are you in my den?" "I am the Arctic fox alpha, remember? Don't be afraid, friend." Okay," I said. "So what do you want with me?" "Join me on an adventure. Join me, friend." "Why do you keep calling me friend? What do you want to do with me?" She suddenly pulled something out of the pocket of her dress. It looked like it looked very long and thin. It was leathery, with markings on it. She suddenly pulled out a big sword. My eyes widened. My brown eyes turned into big peepers the size of marshmallows. "What do you want to do? Get away, get away." Suddenly, my screen went fuzzy. It was all static noise. Nothing else. I couldn't reload or change tabs or anything. The static slowly died down, and I saw myself in a dark place. I was trapped in a big phantom cage. The Arctic fox alpha held up the sword again. "I am Jane. I know what I want to do with you." She suddenly pulled out a needle and a thread. I screamed. I wanted to log out, but I couldn't. There was no log out button. Where there should be, there was a sign that said, "You cannot log out." I looked around. I couldn't go to my den. I couldn't refresh. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't even go to different worlds. I decided to open up one of my spare accounts and had the spare account follow me. Jane turned around. She said, "Who's this? Is this your friend, Fauna? You know that this is a spare account." Suddenly, the spare account disintegrated. I screamed. I had much more spare accounts than that, tons of spare accounts, but I knew that they would disintegrate too if they went to this place. Those fake, hollow, emotionless fake accounts would disintegrate. I couldn't let that happen. So I sent jamograms to all of my friends and told them to follow me. They saw the figure and they said, "Oh, it's the Arctic fox, Alpha." "Yeah, and I need your help. Get me out of here." Jane suddenly turned to the friends and she said, "Oh, but it's for your friend's own good." One of my buddies decided to report her. She threatened, but she couldn't do that. Alphas were powerful. Alphas were immortal. Alphas cannot be stopped. She said, "Can you join me too? Because your little friend here is joining me." Her eyes suddenly turned gray, and her big smile died. Then she seemed less evil. "Oh, but I just want a friend." She suddenly disintegrated into thin air, just like my fake accounts. I had no idea what the heck was going on. My friends unlocked me from the cage, and we all went back to my den. We needed to figure this out. Maybe it was a glitch. Maybe it was an unreleased alpha. We were never going to find out, but AJHQ was to blame.